We cannot efficiency or tuition our way out of $50 million.
Lawmakers here in Nebraska begin to tackle the state's budget shortfall. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
The university is very concerned about the governor's budget proposal.
That's right. We talked to Pete Ricketts today. Now, many agencies are facing potential cuts. The state has a nearly $900 million budget shortfall. Governor Ricketts says tightening the belt is difficult, no doubt, but necessary.
At the end of the day, we just don't have the money, and frankly, one of the things I hear universally, almost universally, as I travel the state, is that Nebraskans tell me they're taxed too much. So we're not going to raise taxes. That is a priority, that we can't increase spending. So that means that we have to make tough decisions about how we live in our budget, again, just like every Nebraska family has to do.
No doubt about it, university and college officials are very concerned about possible cuts, and UN President Hank Bounds is one of them. He spoke to lawmakers today at the Capitol building. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Feely was there. Sarah?
For hours, colleges and universities testified in a hearing with the Appropriations Committee, pleading them to reconsider how funds will be distributed and what the impacts could be if they're not reallocated.
Colleges across Nebraska are facing major cuts in funding thanks to a $900 million budget shortfall. The University of Nebraska system says they'll face a nearly $50 million gap in funding based on the governor's recommended budget and what they call unavoidable costs. So they'll pass the burden down.
It is mathematically impossible to, in my view, to get to that amount without significant tuition increases.
NU President Hank Bounds says the cost of a four-year degree could raise by double digits, meaning many in Nebraska would consider leaving the state for college. He says that's unacceptable.
We want to do everything that we can to protect the academic integrity of the institution. The worst thing that we could do for the future of the state of Nebraska is to let a two-year downturn in the economy have a decades-long impact.
Bounds says they've already committed money to salaries, equipment, and contracts. He says this won't affect students this year, but for the years to come.
It really means that we'll have vertical cuts, which means programs, and it certainly means a lot of people, unfortunately.
Chair of the Appropriations Committee, Jim Stenner, says the pressure to please everyone is tough, but it's about what's best for the state.
We're going to go through phase one. We're going to go through line by line and see what has merit and what we can what the outcome will be of all of this. So.
The cuts also affect state colleges and community colleges.
The Board of Regents will meet next Friday. Bounds says they'll have a better idea of the number of jobs that have to go and just how high tuition could jump.
All right, we'll have to see what happens. Sarah Feely with the latest on that from the newsroom. Thank you.